Hello, and welcome to the Q3 quarterly notes for Syrinx. A lot of this is going to be focused around email support. So, where we've now got Syrinx in the cloud, obviously there's no Microsoft Outlook in the cloud. And so, as a result, we've got to be able to offer the same email functionality just without using Outlook. So, we've got a few different pieces to touch on. So the first one is we've got the new email pop-up window. I think I've talked about that piece before, but the bit that's new is the fact that we can drag and drop into this as well. So if I just briefly pull up Windows Explorer, then from there I can just take a document and add that in there. Previously, you'd have to go through add attachment and go through and find the relevant folder that you're looking for, which is a bit more long-winded. So good examples of this are if you're sending an email, you want to send a hire contract, but at the same time, you want to send a purchase order, maybe you want to send another invoice or transport purchase order. It could be one of a lot of different scenarios. You can just open it up straight from the documents button on the contract or on the purchase order, and then just drag and drop that straight into this window. So that should save a lot of time and make the whole process a lot easier for people. So while I'm in this screen, you will see the next piece that we've worked on, which is the signatures. We have developed a front end or a user interface to be able to deal with creating your own signature. So if we go into general, so we're going into config, system options, and into general. We've got email here, and we've got the email signature. So this is at system level. So everyone will use system level unless they have a user override. So you can see here we've got the window. This is what you would have used previously within the template file. It's the same thing. It's still markup code, but the advantage to this is that we've got the preview on the right hand side. So there's just a bit of dummy text in here, and you can see this is what your code is actually doing. So that is at the system level. The next piece that I want to show you is the same thing but at user level, because obviously not everybody knows how to get their email signature. Not everyone knows markup or any of that type of stuff. So if you set it once at a system level, what you can then do is we can go into this is within user options, and we can go to the email tab in here, and we've got our edit signature button again. You can see this is my user override. It's blank. What we can do from here is we can copy from the system level, so it pulls through all of the images, all of the fonts and everything like that. But what we can then do is we could go in this list and essentially find out the Matt Foster and override it with whatever it might be. Obviously, you can override the roles and things like that, but it just means the formatting is there. All you've just got to do is go and type in or just override your name. So that just makes the signatures a lot easier, and having that preview on the right hand side means that you can actually see what you're doing. The next two are interlinked, and again they're both email related. So if I just go to a hire contract, and I can just go and reprint. It could be absolutely anything. It applies to all of them. And so you can see from this, I obviously don't have a very good template set up, but what we can do is when we go and email from here, we can pick who it's going to, and we can get that preview in our new screen that allows us to drag and drop and everything in. Like before, it's pulled through the system level signature because I didn't save my user option level signature. And again, we can go and drag and drop extra documentation onto here as well. The next one is a very similar prospect, but it's the idea of batch invoicing. And so with batch invoicing, previously you could run your invoice batch and you could say that you want to email them, And with Outlook, it would open up lots and lots and lots of compose emails in Outlook. Again, not having that functionality of Outlook in cloud, then we've built that out. So if I go and just create a new accounts batch, oh, let's go and use an existing batch. So this is our existing accounts batch. If we go and email the invoices, here we go. So once we have then clicked the email invoice button, it takes a little bit of time to go and generate those files. You can see from in my Windows Explorer, you can see all of the different files it's gone away and generated. This could be lots and lots more, but once it's got all of the invoices, it can then essentially create the emails, and it attaches the PDF invoice for you as well. So out of the batch of invoices that I had there were 3 customers, and you could see that for this one, there's just 1 invoice there. You can see for this one, there's 1 invoice. However, for this one, there are a number of different invoices here. So again, we've got the ability to go through. We can amend them as we need to. We can go and add other attachments. I know some people have a requirement to be able to show a purchase order when they send an invoice and things like that. You can go and add those to this with ease now that you can drag and drop, and then you can go and send your emails from there. And then the next thing, or the last thing that I want to show off, is the off-hire search. We now have it as a new search screen. So we've got search off-hires off of the hire menu option under search, and then you've got off-hires. So by default, you'll come in here, you'll have a system view, which is pre-filtered for unconfirmed, because that's the default, that's what it used to be, and that just makes it a slightly easier transition. As with all of the Syrinx search screens, you can go and create a page view. Like here, for example, I've created a page view that has a number of filters there. I've currently got them open. But what you'll notice is that it's not just unconfirmed. As I said, on the previous menu option down here, it was only unconfirmed. And so what happens now is if I go into an unconfirmed off-hire, that looks very familiar. That shouldn't look any different to what it is before. If we go through the mobile job, then we've got the off-hire contract, the off-hire item here, nice and simple. The difference is that we also have the confirmed off-hires, and we've got cancelled off-hires as well. That's new. And so because you don't see an off-hire once it's been confirmed or if it's been cancelled, what these do is they take you through to the contracts page. So it takes you through to the contract onto the off-hire tab. So it shows you the information relating to the off-hires. So it just gives you that better visibility around what's going on. If you come in here and we could search for a contract number, for example, we've got that in here. We could easily come and find the contract number. We could see how many off-hires there were. You might have had a full off-hire. You might have had partial off-hires. If they're partials, they've been broken down. You can see the status of each individual one. We've added additional fields in here, like the last mobile status, again, giving you more visibility. We've got two core sort of ideas that we've pushed from Innovate. They're not really ones to show off, but just to briefly talk about them as I know that they were sort of asked for a number of times. Integration of photos into the mobile work item documents, and so we've regularly had people asking for custom reports where essentially you can pull through photos for the documents. So essentially, whether it's to show the fact that it's in good condition when you've delivered it and you've done your POD essentially, or you're doing your POC and you want to capture any damage, whatever it might be, essentially we can get those photos onto the job. And so you've got those on the document as well. So it's just good evidence for you to protect yourself. And then the other one is for the hire contract search. I can show this one actually. So the hire contract search screen, we can go for a filter. We are going to look for on hire staff. Previously, you could only search for a single staff member. If you're looking for a contract that you're not quite sure who created it, it was one of two people, it just made it long-winded to have to go and search for one. Oh, it's not there. I've got to go and change my search and do another one. In here, we can now change it. So we could say it's SA, or we could say, was it Matt Foster? And we could apply that. And all of these are created by SA or Matt Foster. So it's not a great example, but you can see the point is that now we can search by one or both of these. So we can see there that none of those are created by Matt Foster or a James, because I usually use SA. But that is the additional filter that we've got, something that came through Innovate. It was just sort of a frustration that people had that we've hopefully been able to alleviate with that change. So that's everything I want to run through with you. Thank you very much for taking the time, and enjoy the rest of your day.